This is a boost pedal that I built a few years ago now, and I tried to use it the other day, and I noticed it's not working anymore. There's where it's turned off, and then turn it on, and the signal's not getting through, and it seems like it's something shorted out or whatever. I'm going to try to fix this, see what's going on with it. Okay, well, when you get into it, I see one obvious issue right here. There's a loose wire. This is my little circuit board that I created. I've got a video. Actually, I talked about this on my Hammond reverb amp video. I'll put a link to that in the description. But I'll have to figure out where this wire goes. Back in my early days, I didn't have a very good soldering iron, so some of my early soldering was not that great, and there has been some issues. So let me track this down. May have to look at the schematic and see if I can find out where this wire used to go, or where it needs to go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a place right there where it says input output I/O. It's at the very top of the circuit board right there. I think this wire is supposed to go there to where in the input. It's the input. It looks like it's just broken off there. And I did have some issues with this. Looks like the output I just bypassed where it was before and had put it, just soldered it onto that resistor where that's where that trace goes. So let me see if I can get this thing fixed. Okay, right there is where that was connected, and that's loose. It's like pulling away from the trace. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the next place that this trace connects to, which looks like this resistor right here, and I'm just going to solder it probably just on the bottom of the board, or maybe on the top, on just right onto the leg of that resistor. You know, probably not the most ideal way to fix it, but it'll be better than trying to fix that trace, because what's happened is the pad has completely pulled off of that trace right there. So that will be next to impossible to fix. So I'm just gonna go to the next pad and solder that wire there. Okay, I just soldered that wire. I soldered that wire just onto the next pad where the resistor is, and you know, I just tacked it on there. It's not, I mean, I'm pulling on it, it's not going to come loose. And plus, where that is, I have this thing taped down to the bottom of this, actually taped to the top of this case, so it is not going to come loose now. So I mean, it's probably not the ideal way to fix it, but it should work just fine. Okay, I got that circuit board back in here. I also have rerouted some of the wires and resoldered some of the other connections that look like they were a little bit sketchy. So we're gonna give it a shot here. Okay, so after reconnecting that wire and then it's still not working, I traced everything through, and it ended up being this op amp. It's a TL072 op amp that's in there. So what must have happened is that when that wire became disconnected, it must have shorted against something and blew out this op amp. So I just plugged a new one in there, and that's one thing I did on this one. Instead of soldering the op amp right into the circuit board, I put a socket in there so I could replace it easily. And so it was just a matter of just plugging a new one in there, and it works just fine now. So I don't know if that's coming through on the video, but it is definitely working now. So that's it.